When one borrows money from somebody and then fails to repay, how does the lender take back its amount with its interest and trap the borrower with debt disadvantages? This is exactly what China is doing to regions across the world. So, hello everyone, welcome to Tarun IAS digital platform. I am Nandini Bhatnagar, and today we are talking about China's debt trap technique. So, first of all, we need to understand what is debt trap diplomacy. Debt trap diplomacy basically describes a situation where a powerful lending country or institution seeks to saddle a borrowing nation with debt so as to increase its leverage over it. Debt trap diplomacy was originally associated by Indian academic Brahma Chalani. The term was first used in 2017, and within 12 months, it had quickly spread through the media, intelligence circles, and Western governments. Now, the theory of debt trap diplomacy is that the creditor country extends excessive credit to a debtor country with the intention of extracting economic or political concessions from the debtor country when it becomes unable to meet its debt repayment obligations. Now, let us discuss how China is using it to its own advantage. Recently, International Forum for Right and Securities, better known as IFRAS, reported that it looked at 100 contracts signed during the years of 2000 and 2020 to analyze the legal terms of lending followed by Chinese state-owned entities and governments across 24 developing countries in Africa, Asia, Eastern Europe, Latin America, and Oceania. These developing nations, which are primarily low or middle income countries, are unable to keep up with the repayments, and Beijing then gets a chance to demand concessions or advantages in exchange for debt relief. Now, there are several advantages or concessions that China asks for in exchange for debt relief. Let's understand the situation with the example of Sri Lanka. The country was forced to hand over control of the Hambantota port to China for 99 years after it found itself under massive debt owed to Beijing. This allowed China control over a key port of the country, giving it an extra added area in the region. Now, similarly, let's talk about Maldives. China's engagement with the Maldives could result in a similar situation where $1.4 billion, amounting to 78% of the country's external debt, is owed to China. The Maldives is also one of 8 countries at particular risk due to continued Chinese lending and can suffer from debt distress. As repayment of loans mature, Beijing may become more opportunistic and seize assets in what it perceives as strategic parts of the world. However, a lot of the countries are now becoming more aware and alert. Take, for example, the case of Bangladesh. Recently, Bangladesh has conducted prudent macroeconomic management in order to not fall into any debt trap of China and has avoided the Belt and Road Initiative. Bangladesh did not allow Chinese investment in deep sea ports suitable for a future Chinese Navy presence, as it cancelled the Sonadia deep sea project and only agreed to a port project in Paira. However, China continues to try to bait Bangladesh and other neighboring countries. How the countries withstand these situations is yet to be seen. Now, finally, let's discuss India's current situation in the scenario. China's debt trap diplomacy is not a figment of imagination, clearly. The pattern is quite clear in India's neighborhood, where it is systematically acquiring real estate for strategic reasons. India has not entered into any loan agreement directly with China as of now. However, it has been the top borrower of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank (AIIB), a multilateral bank wherein China is the largest shareholder with 26.6% voting rights and India the second among other countries. China's vote share allows it to veto power over decisions requiring supermajority. Loans provided to India could also pave the way for Chinese firms to enter and gain experience in the promising Indian infrastructure market. Most of India's neighbors have fallen prey to China's debt trap and ceded to China's project One Belt, One Road initiative, which seeks to improve connectivity among countries in Asia, Africa, and Europe. The initiative requires India to accept that the Kashmir controlled Pakistan region is Pakistan because that's where some of the projects are. China, through OBOR, can hence increase India's political cost of dealing with its neighbors. With all these examples, we can see how China is slowly improving its grasp on neighboring countries, especially in the South Asian areas surrounding the South China Sea. So, friends, I hope this video helped you in understanding the complex debt trap technique used by China easily. Before you forget, like our video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for latest current affairs.